Alright, this is the AL game against the Demolition, and this is game 4 of the series. Let's take a look at this. Alright, so this is the first thing I saw. Go back a bit. First off here, there's like no one. I feel like so here, MCas86 should have challenged the ball, give Jordak more time, get back, and you can try to cut off the mid. So the DK doesn't have space to do whatever he wants to do. Like he flicks here, but so if we go back, Jordak training for the boost, but here, MCas, what you should really be doing is, because Jordak's going to have this back line, but what you should be doing is cutting across here, so that DK is forced to do something that you might not want to do. Again, he goes for a flick here, which he probably would have done the same whether you gone back for net here or stayed or gonna challenge him. But he didn't really need to flick this here. If you recognize the space here, he could have done something a bit more dangerous. And so cutting across here, because when you know you have a teammate that's gonna be back on the back line already, then it's good for the person that's cutting back to try to cut the person with the ball off, especially since Luxurious is nowhere near on the fence. There's just a 1v2 against you guys. So use the first person to cut him off, force him to get around, and then have the second guy get that easy control of the ball. So that's the first thing I saw here. But Jordak's there, nothing dangerous at this point. MCas gets demoed. So then here, after MCas gets demoed, Jordak goes for a demo play, I think? Yeah. Well, that's not a terrible idea. It doesn't work out. Now Jordak's in a rough spot. No, isn't that bad. Nice, you could got the bump there, but no big deal. So here, Jordak's just staying here the entire time. And now MCas feels like he has to go for this. There's a few things ways. So as soon, I want to go to Jordak's perspective here. So you try to get a bump here, doesn't work out, miss it. And now at this point, you search, but he's already up. It's like, well, and you only have 20 boosts, so there's no way you're gonna get for this ball. So at this point, I would say, turn back. At this point, you're not gonna get to this ball. If you stay there, he's just gonna hit it over you. So at this point, just turn out, grab small boost pads, get back into net. Ideally, you need to get behind the goal line. But at this point, you need to turn out of this play and get back, ready to defend if they create a play. And then that'll allow MCas to go up for this and challenge this easier and not worry about, oh, is Jordak going to go for this? I need to wait and see what he's going to do before I can push up. That causes a little hesitation from MCas, because at this point, Jordak, you should have started to turn up, but you should turn up for this and he's going to hit it over you. And now MCas feels like he has to go for it. But he really should not have, because of how close Luxurious is. And he gets past. This is something I never really want to see, is both you guys pretty much in the exact same spot. Right now, you guys are basically in the same spot in the field, and you can't really cover much. And luckily, this was off target, and Jordak was able to get it into the corner to get it in a more safer spot. But here, so say Jordak doesn't go back. At this point, MCas, you should be staying in net. So here, as you see Jordak turn up for this, and he's not going to back off, what you should be doing, let me get a better angle of this. Let's go here. Here, go back a little bit more. You get demoed. You spawn, they can push up, and but then turn. As soon as Jordak turns for this, but you see that DK is probably going to get the touch because he has Jordak beat by a mile. They just stay back to get into net. You probably have the time here to grab these boost pads and then turn into net. Because DK is going to try to hit this to his teammate here, and then they're going to try to shoot. And then you'd be here net to be ready to defend whatever they're going to do. But instead you challenge this. Jordak also tries to get this and Luxurious in this, and it could have gone straight into net, but luckily it hit post instead. So you got to make sure you recognize when my teammate's coming back, this is a dangerous situation, just let me grab some boost and get to net. Go for it instead. Just luckily, good. So like at this hit post, so that Jordak could hit it off. I was going to hit. And this, I remember watching this. This is really bad. Never. So first off, so good. At this point, this play's fine. You got the demo. This is fine. But then this play kind of falls apart because at this point in time, Jordak starts turning back because you're right there and he doesn't want to cut you off. Guys don't want to be in the same corner at the same time. But Jordak recognized, so he starts to turn out and think you're going to go for the ball. But you thought, oh, Jordak's pushing up for this ball, I need to get back. But then you end up both getting back and this is just super awkward. And then you let them have control of the ball. Because at the time of when you got the demo, there's all this open space. No one was nearby. You guys could have easily taken control of this, pushes up field, try to get a counter tackle. So there's a few things that happens here. I want to go back. So you get the save. You get the, so right after the demo, I'm guessing you have a few things you can do here. Or really only two options. Either this comes down to comms and calling it sooner, or recognize where your teammate's positioning is. So either you can stay in this corner, but then turn and get this ball, take control of this ball. Do not go back in net because then Jordak's in a weird spot. If you want Jordak to go for this, which is fine, because Jordak can then hit this, he control that, but you should not be crossing his path in this play at all. What you need to be doing as soon as you get the demo is, even before you're like this far, you should be churning out and grabbing these small boost heads and getting behind Jordak. Get a little better camera angle of this, and also go back a little bit more. And Jordak gets the save. You get the demo. So as soon as you get the demo, at this point, you either need to make the decision to rotate out, grab these small boost pads, get behind Jordak, get in net, and then Jordak can push this out. And once Jordak gets control, then you can push up, be mid, and then it's DK will spawn back here, and Luxurious trying to get back and defend. But then this creates a really good offensive opportunity for you guys. What did I just do? No, that's... Why is the screen so dark? Okay. I don't know what I did. But getting the demo is fine. But if you're going to stay on that side and not go out, you need to turn for this boost. Because Jordak thinks, oh, you're staying, so I need to get out. And then you guys just take way too long to figure out who's going to go for the ball. And let them have so much time. And allow DK to get back and start to push up field and get some boost pads. So this play was a big issue in the game. It's like two back-to-back issues, but it created really, like, the first thing, this challenge from MCas isn't great, and Jordak not going back, that's not great, but it's not terrible. But then this corner play is what really screws you guys opportunities. So yeah, as soon as you get the demo, you really need to recognize that you're going to get this ball, grab that corner boost, and then go for it. If that corner boost there, I don't know if it actually is, because the are bugged a bit. Or cut across mid, get behind Jordak so Jordak can push up, and then you can push up with him in midfield to be support. But this was really bad and gave them all the time in the world. So now that we're about 10 minutes into this, let's get into the next. That's only the first 30 seconds of this game. Alright. Does this turn to goal? Yes, it does. Yeah, so like off of all the corner mistakes and the mistakes they end up getting a goal off it a little bit later. But so I'll go in the corner, MCas goes for it. Hard to push out, but you didn't need to get this hard of a touch here. Probably should have, because DK is so far away. MCas just flipped out of the way. Just try to let this, I mean the timing is a bit rough here, but try to catch this and then start pushing out left, and then MCas can also be pushing up left field, and then you can flip it to the left and then he can take control of it, and it's 2v1 situation for you guys. But instead you get a early flip, didn't exactly get as much power as you wanted probably, and then DK get control, and the MCas shouts in the corner. Another thing, there's no need for MCas to be challenging this in the corner. So right now, MCas, you're in net, a little bit farther out net than like Jordak's kind of out of the play, he's collecting boosts, he's going to try to get back. Right now it's just 1v1 between you, DK, and Luxurious is kind of in the midfield. There's absolutely no reason that you need to go for this ball. So let's go back up a little bit. The Jordak hits this, I guess you get in net. Even right here, I would try, when you're approaching net, so here, when you're approaching net and you're not confident, if you don't know where that trigger, just try to get, good habit to get behind the goal line, just behind the goal line. Just stay out here to here gives you so much more time to react and get the save. Do whatever you do. So try to get in net behind the goal line as much as possible. So let's say here you drove out here and then you're here at this point, and that takes a little bit, so let's continue this play, see how this turns out. So at this point you'd be around this point you'd probably be in net behind the goal line, pick the line there, put there, and if you just kind of wait in net there, you don't have to push this, just wait, see how this plays out. And what you can do here is so just let DK hit this guy's touch, and now it's in the corner. And our own corner is probably one of the safest spots the ball can be, unless it's in the opponent's net. There's no reason to go for this, because you can challenge in the corner, but only challenge the corner if you have a teammate back. Jordak is way out of the play right now. He can't get back to defend if the ball gets past you. So just sit in net, and the ball's going to start roll out, and as it starts bouncing here, you can start to creep up, get a little closer, but don't leave the goal. I would not, so DK would have gone for this differently because you challenged this, but let's say if you're still in the net in this vicinity, DK would push this ball, maybe he would try to move it out here, have his teammate come in, or he would just push this around and try to get it in. But you just have to sit in this area, and then once DK either gets like here-ish, then go out to challenge him so that he can't get it in, or if he's going to try to push it out, then you can try to cut off that pass. And this gives time to try to get Jordak to get back in time. We're here because you challenge. You challenge this ball, kind of pinches it, pretty sure it goes with DK, comes out mid, and Luxurious gets an easy goal that Jordak can't get back to in time to save, if I remember correctly. Get the pinch, goes off DK, yeah, goes right to Luxurious, and Jordak has to try to make a last second save. I'll mention one last thing for Jordak here, is he takes a really wide turn, and he doesn't even get behind goal line, and has to jump into the net, try to get a save. So it's going to make it more difficult. So let's try to change our angle here. So you had a good line of approach until you started to turn for wide posts. Getting back posts, yeah, is good. But so right now this is fine. But what I would do from here is grab this boost and churn and be. Ideally, you want to be, so when in the sitting goal, if the ball's coming this way in my opinion, or the play is like on this kind of side of the field, and you're trying to see how they're going to shoot. Best to be like around the 75 mark area, so around here is ideal. And making sure you're behind that goal line, like right about here, is ideal, because you pretty much can get up to all of this, you can save all that, and you can get behind you fairly easily. That's a little bit behind you, and then backflip for this as well. There's like little, it all comes to reaction timing. But instead what you do is you go all the way around, and then you cut here, and you're this far out of the goal line, and then you have to dive in. Or if you're here, or rather here, you could have gone up and out to try to push this out, which I think you would still gonna be able to save in this situation. If you did that instead. So in this 40 seconds, I talked a whole lot about many different defensive errors that happened. But so there's many different situations in that whole 40 seconds that could have stopped a goal from happening in that situation. It's a good demo from the other team. Good recovery from MCas bringing this corner. Oh, I remember this. This was another bad thing. Alright, this replay is going to take a while. But it's good to talk about all this stuff. So here, there's no reason for both of you guys to be going into this corner. If one of you guys calls that you have it, that's fine, but the other person needs to leave. In my opinion, this should have been MCas's ball. He should have grabbed that boost, then could have taken the ball up the wall. But so like, if someone needs to call whose ball this is, so MCas, as this ball is going to roll up, then MCas can just grab, get this boost, then bring it up the wall and do whatever. You can do that, or Jordak the ball can go in the corner, go up, and Jordak can go after the ball. But if MCas can go here, Jordak needs to get in net. But if you guys want Jordak to go, which is fine, then what needs to happen is that MCas, you need to turn and get back post here. Because what it looks like here in this play, for what happens here, it looks like you're just trying to get this corner boost. But so you grab the corner boost, and then at this point in time, MCas, you need to be turning for the ball. Because you have full boost, you're right next to the ball, and Jordak can't, because you tried, I'm like, oh, now I'm going to go back, but then you cut Jordak off from doing anything. And then Jordak tries to turn back for it. But you guys could have had positioned the ball if, it doesn't really matter who's going for the ball here. It's just one of you. Yeah, so like, here I would say MCas probably should be the one going for the ball. He's right on it already, he can grab that full boost, and he can continue to play, and Jordak can wait in net, see if anything dangerous happens. There's no reason that both of you guys should be both in that corner. Who's good pinch out? Good attempt on the demos. It was good. So what happened here? That needed. This is another instance. The Jordak here. Well, first off, you like hard go for a back post to kind of mess you up. You don't. Back post just means like get behind yours, but you don't need to here. You don't need to like, oh, I need to get back post this much. I mean, yeah, you should be getting a net here, but you don't need to go straight for that back post and stop your turn that much, especially when he's that far away. But here, once again, like MCas did earlier, you do not need to be challenged the ball because the ball's in your corner. Perfectly safe here. And MCas is way out of the play. They're right here. Just kind of park yourself right here and wait to see how this, because he's just going to push this out like here. And you challenge it, so I think the ball like ends up landing here somewhere. But if you just wait for him to push this, he's going to push this out here. Maybe he tries to get it out, but DK's not really that close. So he pushes out, and once he like at this point, then you can jump for this and challenge him there. But until he's that close, there's no reason to challenge this. Because you need to allow time for MCas to be able to get back, because if you challenge this, and it pinches out, DK can cut this off before MCas can get there, and that's a goal for them. So just try, gotta make sure, relax. You guys don't need to rush and challenge when they're in the corners. Just wait to see how they play it out. Because you can see he's trying to bring it down. You kind of got in his way, so he jumped off the wall. And this really should have been a goal for DK, but MCas had a really good touch here. That was a good turn for MCas going for it. Jordak goes. Alright. This was a really unfortunate goal that happened. So let's take a look at this again. Take a look at this a little bit closer. So MCas gets to 50. So at this point, even a little bit earlier actually, go to Jordak's perspective. Gets popped up. You start to turn back, but you see that DK's right there. He's going to beat you to that ball 9 times out of 10. So when this pops up and you see that DK's right there, this is when you need to turn out. Either by, so you go back to this point, you need to turn out of this play by either train back this way, getting back, or what I think would be a little better to cover more is train back this way. Because that gets in the back post rotation. You might like hit this ball to the corner, and you can clear this out like that. That would be a much easier way to play this instead of trying to challenge him, because he's so much closer to the ball. It's high up, but he just has to wait for this to come down a little bit, and then he can go. The only reason that you could beat him here is you jump from this point, and then he doesn't have boost, and he has to wait for this to come down. That's the only time that you're going to beat him here, and you don't have someone behind you. So in 3s, I think going for this is fine, but in 2s, you need to be a little more careful and rotate out. And really be more rotate out, getting this small boost pads along the way. But instead, you wait, try to challenge him. He gets over you. You know, MCas needs to get it, try to rush it, and get it back, and get a save. Unfortunately for MCas, he rushes this a bit and doesn't recognize it's going to bounce off the wall there. When it does, misses the touch, which will happen. Just here, let's go to MCas86 perspective. So it's hard to see, it's hard to tell. It gets touched, DK gets touched mid, so you try to get it mid. You don't know where that teammate is, but you have to try to look around with your right stick. Look over here, okay. It'll be like, okay, over here, I'm like, okay, I'm not sure whether or not you actually be able to see him, but look, okay, no one's there. No one's really there, so now you can just wait for this to settle, hit the wall, come to you, and then you can control this. That's really the only thing. There's no need to rush it. When I get it, it was a dangerous situation. It'll happen. Reading the bounces are hard, not an easy thing to do. But there are ways to prevent it. This was a bit of a risky challenge by Jordak, but luckily it worked out. Like here, I would just be sitting in net, waiting for DK's touch, and then see, I don't think he would have gotten a very powerful touch, and then he can bang it out, but it worked out in this situation. Don't harp into it too much, as I have with other stuff. So a good job of maintaining pressure on their end. Does this end up being goal? Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's good. Good pressure on the side of the field. Keep them stuck, and then you'll get a goal eventually. Alright, this was another one situation. It's a little bit different from the other one because you just spawned off a demo, but same thing here, or an opposite, where you just came from the corner. MCas probably thought you're going to go for it or stay with it, and you thought, oh, I spawned here, I need to get out. Let him push for it, and then you're both in the back corner of the net and let them time to recover from what they just did. We go to Jordak perspective here. So dies, then you spawn. So at this point, you know the ball is right behind you, or not right to right. I'm guessing the net. He's going this way. Gonna land over here somewhere. But what you should be doing here: grab this boost, then churn and grab the either go up wall or go on the ground. Catch this however it's easiest in the situation. And then just continue going. If we look at this from an overhead perspective, because they're both right there, but they're working on getting out. So what ideally, at this, maybe the ball will be close to the ground, then you can start pushing this upfield. And once you have control over it, then MCas can push up the field and support with you as well. What we can do is you just get back, and MCas just landed over here, and then he has to go out, and then you. So just trying to recognize your teammate's positioning and whether it's better for you or your teammate to go. Again, this is split second decision. As soon as you spawn, recognize where your teammate is, where the ball is. Okay, I have the ball. This is mine. And go. And also try to call it as well in comms so you don't double commit. But there wasn't too many double commits in this game, at least not so far. So good shot by Jordak. Now up by 1 goal with a minute and a half left. Good save from MCas. Nice pinch. Alright, MCas gets put in a really awkward spot here. So on one hand, this is a bit of a risky challenge, but MCas, he's on his way back, so this should be fine. He's on the way back. So at this point, MCas really has two options. Option 1, which is the option that I would go for most of the time, but it's also a little bit harder, is so if we look at MCas perspective, he has plenty of boost here. At this point, I would have jumped up for this ball. But I'm also, I know, at high level, so even you can wait maybe out here right before you turned here is really when you can jump. And you have 50 boost, which is plenty. But the ideal thing in this play, whenever you jump, the ball is going to hit on the crossbar here and then bounce back. So if you get in net like you did, it's going to become really awkward. You're going to have to hope they miss. So what's ideal is that if you're able to get up and hit this on the wall, either to pinch it or for it to slide up the wall, and then you can try to push it out like that, or push it out whichever way it goes out, doesn't really matter, is ideal. Again, so you can jump here. You could have jumped when you're back here, had longer aerial. This one would be actually a little faster, tighter angle, but that would be the ideal way to save this. Again, it's not the easiest way to do. And even here, you don't even get completely in net. you're not giving yourself the best chance to save this and react to his touch. Whenever you're sliding net in a situation like this, try to get behind the goal line, because you're sliding right now way before you need to, and then you need to back up. And even if you do that, you need to make sure you get behind that goal line, because let's look at this. So you start to push out here and try to get the save here. So you're right here. You should have been here, back here. That gives you what is that? 2.5, 3 car lengths. That gives you so much more time to react to what he's doing, and also to jump up and get the save. Because here you have to try to jump, and this ball's flying. But here you might have been able to pinch this off, and it could go gone off the crossbar there. So if you were here, I think you could have saved this after you got a shot. It still would not have been easy because of how fast this comes out. Because if we watch this in real time, it comes out pretty fast. But if you get just that little in net and get behind the goal line, it gives you just that extra little extra time to be able to react and save the ball. Again, I'm not sure if you've been able to because of the rough situation. And I do think it's just if you're able to get up and kind of hit this as it hits the backboard, that is ideal. But again, that's not the easiest thing to do. Alright, so it's tied with a minute left. Fortunately, Jordak missed that corner boost. DK got it. Somehow the demo doesn't score there. Gas is doing a good job of waiting and see how the play turns out. Again, no need to challenge here in the corner. You could have just waited in net, see how it hits off, how DK is going to touch hit this next, and then you can challenge it and start push it out. And this is where it all falls apart. Alright, take a look at this. Jordak should have never challenged this. I'm going to say that right now. So MCas on the ball. And Jordak probably saw like, oh, MCas is messing up. And this is where you guys started to panic on defense in your end of games. It happened throughout this entire series. So this is the one game we're going to look at. So Jordak doesn't, from my perspective, it looks like Jordak's thinking, oh, I really don't want to lose this game. So Jordak's trying to get in net, but he never actually got fully in net either, which is a bit of an issue, at least for me personally. And they see, oh, MCas doesn't have this, let me push up. But because, again, you guys are right on top of each other, all it takes, look serious to win this 150, and it's past both of you guys. And then they take the lead. And it becomes really difficult. Getting a goal in 30 seconds is never easy to do under pressure like this. So Jordak, this entire play, you should have just waited back in net. MCas could have probably jumped and 50th this ball. Even if it goes past like this, at this point, as soon as it goes past, now you can challenge this and go for the 50 on him. Because now you're last man back. And you probably could have got a good 50 on this and it would have gone out. And they would not have gotten the goal. Now here, you guys, I mean, yeah, you both shouldn't be up like this. Or should have gone back a little sooner, but at the same time, it was last seconds of the game. You guys need to push as hard as possible to get a goal, so I'm not gonna, don't want to worry about too much about that one. Because that was like the only time you made offense mistake this entire game. Like overall offense, you guys played extremely well. Only downside, which I harped on a lot this game, was all the defensive mistakes. Because your guys' rotations, positioning was pretty good on the offensive side of the field. While on defense, there's a lot of bad decision making that caused pretty much all 4 of their goals. Like maybe the one where MCAS was an awkward position was a really hard one to save, and that's understandable. But pretty much all the others were because of defensive decision making. And both of you guys did the exact same things. For challenging corners where you don't need to. Both of you guys rotating to the back post and the ball just sitting in the corner. One of you guys need to challenge that. You can challenge in the corners, but as long as you have a teammate back already, so they can defend if anything goes wrong. Even then, sometimes you don't really need to. But all right, that's gonna be it for this one.